the tour with Dead Disease is almost ended.
Mm-hmm.
Up to now, how has been the reaction of the audiences to your new song of Solace?
Uh-huh.
And how is working the match of these two bands together? If you think you are expanding your fan bases?
Yeah.
Or this is the first question.
It's been a really good tour so far. I think both bands are complementing each other in that, especially with our new record Solace, there's more of a distinct sort of contrast, I think, between ourselves and the Dead Daisies. Probably more so than there would have been, on our previous records, which I think probably would have made more sense if someone heard Answer Dead Daisies. It makes perfect sense. But I think the new record, it's there's definitely contrast between the two bands, and the more we've been playing, maybe a slightly different audience for each band. Obviously, there's in the middle, it's the same audience,
okay,
mostly. But I think there's some people come to see us now, and we'll also see the Dead Daisies, and then there's a lot of their crowd that, believe it or not, I think haven't seen us over the last 10 years. So we're definitely picking up some new people, and I think it's good having the co-headline thing where both bands play. We both play full 75 minutes.
35 minutes, okay.
So.
This is a full show of the two bands, it's not?
Yes, yeah, no.
Complete co-headliner.
Yeah.
Co-headliners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, full encores, everything. So I think people are staying for both, to see both bands, which is good. The reaction to the new stuff has been good. It was something we were, I wouldn't say worried about, but we weren't sure how it was gonna work, and we wanted to certainly come out and play mostly new material. And we're playing, I think, 9 songs off Solace.
Yes,
so
I read some studies. Yes.
So it's quite
near all the new album. It's all the new songs.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's maybe we do some old stuff too. We'll do New Horizon, Waste Your Tears. What else? Come Follow Me. Sometimes Under the Sky, Demon Eyes. But there's at least sort of 9-10 new songs in there every night, and it's been good. I think certainly the way we released the record, we started with Solace with the title track, which I think is maybe not a complete departure from what we've done before.
Yes.
But I think it kind of prepared people a little bit for what was going to come. And then we also put out on the internet Beautiful World as a free download.
Wonderful song.
Which is completely different, I think, from anything we've done before, and that got quite a strong reaction for and against, and some people not been able to make up their minds, and we also start the set with those 2 songs, so we can kind of gauge how the audience is going to take to it from the beginning. But it's we started off doing mostly new material at the first show, and now we've 3 shows to go, and we're still doing mostly new, so we haven't dropped any of the new stuff, so I think it's working.
Wonderful. I like very much the last album. Maybe now it's one of my best. The one is incredible in my opinion.
Oh, that's cool.
Solace is good.
Thank you.
Second question.
Uh-huh.
So Solace is very clearly different album if compared with the old ones.
Yes.
It's more atmospheric, lots of acoustic parts, and of course your Irish roots can be clearly heard. On the net, in some reviews, I read that it's considered like a new beginning for the band, a new dawn. Did you decide to write and publish a different album because it was the right moment to do it? So was your intention, your will to move in a new direction, or it was just inspiration? The natural creative process bring you to play Solace?
It was a bit of everything. I think we kind of, sure it's been well documented in the press that we kind of came off a tour with Whitesnake in America at the end of 2015 summer, and
you played also here in Italy with Whitesnake.
Yes, we did.
Festival.
Sort of, that the summer just passed as well. Sort of going back a year ago, you know, we had a great tour in America. We hadn't been there since AC/DC, so it was really good to get back, and we were getting great reaction from the audience, and we thought things were going really well. Then we came home and sort of, you know, sat down with our management and, you know, looked at how things were commercially and critically, and you know, it wasn't so good. There wasn't appetite to have us go back on tour again that winter. There wasn't the demand, so we kind of sat down.
So it wasn't good the moment.
No,
not a good moment.
Not a good moment for us at all. And you know, also obviously we had the guys are all fathers in the band, and you know, so they were kind of you know, the families to think about, and it looked like the band kind of it wasn't the most important thing in the world or our lives at that moment. So it looked maybe we wouldn't do another record, or if we did, that would be it. So we did have to think we need to do something different. We didn't quite know what that was going to be, and sort of usually when we do a new record, certainly the first 5 anyway, we you know, we all get in a room after a tour. We'll take a bit of time off. We'll all get in a room and just jam, and whatever you can hear what everyone's been listening to, and maybe we've worked on some things on the road, or some bands we've toured with have an influence, and all that comes out, and we jam and record everything, and there'll always be some really good stuff when we go back through the recordings, and we'll make songs from them, and then that'll inspire, you know, different members to go off and write stuff. We bring that back in, and we'll start to have the foundations of a record. And so that initial jamming period is very important to what comes after. There's, you know, songs like Under the Sky, the first record came from that. Demon Eyes on Everyday Demons came from that. A lot of stuff in Revival came like that. You know, stuff like Leave It Nothing on New Horizon, Spectacular. All that stuff came from those kind of sessions. And
so you jammed together?
Yes, yeah.
It was not the ideas of a member?
Well, it starts off as a jam, and then the ideas will, you know, that'll inspire. You know, maybe Cormac will bring in an idea, I'll bring in an idea, and then we, you know, we have 5 or 6 songs, and that sort of tells us where the record's going to go. But this time we didn't have that. It just started kind of with an acoustic guitar, just sitting down like this, putting ideas back and forth, and then building up arrangements and, you know, in the studio around that. So it's a very different way of writing songs for us, and I think certainly one of the things, you know, that made me do a completely different approach was for the guitars, which I think you can hear. I think it's quite different from other stuff we've done before, and it's because of that, because the sort of electric guitars came after and had to fit in with the song rather than making the song. Okay. So that was quite
there's
different.
a lot of acoustic on the last one.
Yeah.
It's Tunnel. Tunnel is a great song. Tunnel.
Oh, Tunnel, yes.
So sorry for the pronunciation. Tunnel. Being Begotten.
Yeah.
A lot of acoustic. It's new and wonderful.
Yeah.
I am a fan of the band, but these songs are incredible. It's really, really good.
It's a different direction, so it came because we felt we had to do something different, and then with the circumstance kind of
you worked, I read somewhere, you work in your own studio this time, so maybe no pressure, but you were
certainly
free to create, right?
That's another thing, because it was in our own studio, there was no time constraints, didn't have to pay for it, no financial, so we kind of, we were felt a lot more free, and there was less pressure, and we did a lot of things we wouldn't normally do. I kind of remember starting the writing and thinking, I don't remember thinking this is the 6th Answer album. We were just making music, so we weren't thinking, oh, you've got to have a song like a bluesy song with slide, or you've got to have a heavy kind of stoner song, or there's got to be a track that's got a big epic guitar solo on it. There was none of that. It was just songs, and we didn't judge it. We just let it sort of just grow and be, come together the way it did. So, yeah, certainly that lack of pressure helped, and also I think it had a big influence on the lyrical direction of it too. The words, lyrics.
Yes.
So I think, usually I think it's quite a different, much more introspective, more personal, confessional at times. Whereas before it was, maybe not as dark and not as personal and
Atmospheric.
Mhm. it was not as much of that before. So all those things were different, and it was circumstance and intentional too.
And it worked.
Yes.
Really well. Really well. So can you list us
Mhm.
a couple of songs in solos,
Yeah.
in Latin, that in your opinion define the sound of the band at the best in this moment? If you should choose two songs to say for not the best one, to let the fans understand what the answer are now. So two songs of the last album.
Okay. Well, I guess it's easy for the first one. I think it's going to be Solace, because that's kind of it's got a bit of the sort of the old sort of rock stuff that people know us for. There's a little bit of Zeppelin in there, and there's also, I think, a little bit of the atmosphere, and a little bit of the different way we worked. We were working with sort of drum loops and stuff, and the different sort of like keyboard atmospheric sounds, and the different approach for the guitars and the vocals. So I think that's kind of a good starting point. Then the next one, it's tricky because there's a couple of different flavors in there. I think off my head, I guess I'm gonna say something like Battle Cry. That's another one, because that's an old song actually that came from the Revival sessions, and there is a version on there on a B-side somewhere. If anyone's any anoraks or train spotters out there can go out and find that. We came back to that track and sort of changed it up. It's in a different key now, and it's got a very different treatment, and it was kind of all these different influences we were trying to put in. It was talk of the Celtic roots. So there's some there's some Irish on there, but also for me it was a exploration of roots music across everything. Sort of obviously Irish stuff, bluegrass, some Latin stuff, and I wanted to have all of that in there. I think if you listen to some of the rhythms on that, you can hear that. The way all the different guitars kind of mesh together. It's again the different guitar approach, and some of the more experimentals or atmospheric stuff as well, and how that all came together in kind of a pop song, I guess, really. So I think that was one of the early things we did, and I remember doing it and thinking, it's got too much in here. There's too many flavors. And sometimes the best cooking is the most simple. It's just a bit of salt and a bit of lemon, and that's it. And this has got too many spices going on, but somehow it worked, and that became kind of it showed us that we can be that extreme, and it can work as a song. So that was an early sort of thing that said to the album, let's keep going in this direction.
Solace and Battle Cry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you shared the stage in the past. You opened for the Rolling Stones, you opened for Deep Purple, The Who, many legendary bands. Whitesnake, of course. You released 6 albums. You toured all over the world. What has been your biggest achievement to date, and what do you want to achieve in the near future?
I think probably making this record's been, well, I guess the hardest thing was just getting that first initial foot in the door. I think when, before we had a record deal, I remember going to, I was about sort of 23, 24, going to London for the first time, and
Signed the record? Signed the first record?
to try and get it,
Okay.
and with nothing, just we had a van, and the four of us and one of our friends came and did sound, and we got a manager that believed in us, and just remember playing showcases with all these other bands that were going to be the next big thing, and somehow we broke through. And I think that was probably still the hardest thing to do for any band. I think it's just to get that initial spark and have enough people believe in it and connect with it. You can get going. So I still think back to those first trips to London when we got signed by Alberts, and going to Olympic Studios to do the first record, and it all happened so quick. It was really a 1 minute we were going over there, and the next minute, I was in Studio 2 and Studio 1 in Olympic, and where Led Zeppelin 1 was done, and Are You Experienced, and it was pretty mind blowing back then. I think making this record too, getting through, I think the winter of 2015 was a very cold and dark winter for us, and I think getting through that and at the end of it having Solace was quite an achievement too.
So what's
And
the next future?
For the future, I think that
More
just
fans, expand your fans base?
yeah, of course, yeah. I think certainly in this tour, for the most part, we've been playing to really good sort of sellout crowds most nights, certainly in the UK and over Europe. So obviously we want to come back and do that ourselves as the one headliner.
Yes.
And then looking forward to the next record too. I think Solace was very much almost like another learning experience of how to do it for the most part on our own. We did have two great producers work with us as well, but I think it's probably our most personal record, and the one we've had the most that's okay. The most input into, and so I think for the next one we're ready to do that again. And I think obviously on Solace we concentrated on what could be different,
Yeah.
and sort of maybe forgot a little bit of the history of the first part of the band and the sound of it. So I'm looking forward to bringing that back into where we are now with the atmospherics and still some of the acoustic stuff as well. So that'll be exciting to do.
Okay. And in the deluxe edition of the album, there is a cover of Pink Floyd.
Yes.
Money.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose Money? So
Um,
why that song? Why Money?
That's a simple explanation for that is we were doing a launch for a new Yamaha guitar, new Yamaha Revstar guitar in Abbey Road, and they asked us to play two of our own tracks and one song that had been recorded in Abbey Road. So the guys were coming back to me saying, let's do some Beatles or something. I thought, that's a guitar event, so Money's got...
It was a guitar event.
Yes, yeah.
In Abbey Road Studios.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So
So
that's...
choose songs of The Answer and one cover? Or?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So I think we did I Am What I Am, Come Follow Me, and Money, and it's it's 2 or 3 solos in that for me, so it's a good one for the guitar. And because it's I think actually just to learn the song, we decided it would be the best way to learn it, to make sure it was all was correct. And when it came to do the bonus tracks, I looked and saw I've recorded this, so I'll finish that off and do a mix of it. And
So you recorded it for understanding if it was going good
Yep.
to bring to this event?
Yep.
Okay.
And then just did a quick mix of it for the record.
So any best on the deluxe edition?
Yeah.
Good. So, two bands you like to tour with here? you toured with many bands.
Mhm.
Now, at the moment, in this moment of hard rock, blues rock, you'd like, you say, you have the chance to choose 2 bands to tour with.
Okay. That I've toured with before, or any.
In this moment.
It's one of my favorite bands that we played with a long time ago. Was Rose Hill Drive from Colorado.
The name?
Rose Hill Drive.
I don't know.
They're 3-piece, sort of very classic blues rock, but they kind of bit of a jam band as well. They would, I think we did a tour in 2006 with Roadstar, and they opened up, and you know they have half an hour every night, and they play 3 songs in half an hour, and every night was different. You never knew what was going to happen. It's, I think, one of the few bands that everyone watched them every night. Like, even if we were coming on next, we would be glued to the side of the stage to watch and listen, just to see what happened. So I'd love to do them. And we've been very lucky with, you know, a lot of classic bands we've got to play with. But one we haven't and have never seen are Van Halen. So I would love them to come back out, the classic lineup, and go out with those guys.
Okay. So, when can we expect, if you already have a schedule or something, to see the answer here in Italy again as headliner, maybe in different cities? Have you got dates or for the next year? Or
at the moment, no. As far as we've gone for the moment, we're doing Monsters of Rock cruise off Miami in February.
And then you're touring in the UK.
UK, yeah. Then I'm not sure what happens after that. Maybe there'll be some more European dates then, or maybe we'll certainly come back in the festival season, and hopefully
The most important thing that you have to come in Roma, not only Milano.
Okay.
Also, Roma, lots of fans there, but Milano is too far to reach. So, last things, and we ended. Just a message from you to all our readers, American readers.
I'd just like to thank all our Italian fans through the years. It's one of the places we love to come to play because of the passion of the fans, and it's it's just makes for an incredible gig atmosphere, and really appreciate the support of the new record. I know it's different, so I'm very glad all you guys have given it a listen, and you can hear what we hear in it too, and looking forward to seeing you at some more shows next year in Roma too.
Yeah, Roma too, yes. We'll try by our website to promote the most we can your album and the concerts, photos and review of the album and the concert.
Cool, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Very, very. For us is
Grazie.
incredible to be here. Thank you.
Fantastic.
And just a question. That out of the for a fan
okay,
for the
yes.
website,
Yeah.
there's the song "Left Me Standing" on the last time. I know it's near the whole stuff. But it's wonderful. It's "Left Me Standing."
Yes, yes.
But you are not playing it on this tour.
No.
No, but that song, when we drive on the car.
You like
that
it?
song, it's I know it's maybe near or closer to the old stuff here, like a song, but I think that live it should be great sometime.
It's funny you say
Tell the
that.
guys on the next tour.
I think
it's more rock, blues rock song, more normal respect to every other, but
I think so. And I think in the UK, the next single is going to be "In This Land," but Planet Rock radio station wanted to be "Left Me Standing." So there's a lot of people are starting to call for that. So, but I think to do it live, I'm going to need Doug to get up and do some harmonies with me or something. Doug Aldrich is going to have to get up and play with me.
Oh, okay.
So I can do the Thin Lizzy stuff.
Because when we put the CD on the car, when all left me standing. Everyone in the car said, "Who's this guy?" So, that's a good song.
Well, hopefully we'll put it on the radio and a few people take that too.
It's good, really good.
I'll tell the guys you said that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Appreciate
very
that.
much.
Thanks.
Very kind of you. Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.